Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm actually about to hop back into the Blitz pool. I'm gonna play a 5-minute game of chess today, and I'm actually getting random people challenging me, even though I've just stopped streaming for the day. But I want to make a little bit of an announcement before I play a game of Blitz. Maybe I'll play a viewer since I'm, for whatever reason, getting challenges. But for the next 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, so this only applies to you if you're watching this video right when it drops, I'm going to be on a little vacation with my family. So for 2 days, we're going to be out of the house. So I'm going to try my best. We just did a stream on Twitch where we played a whole bunch of creepy crawly openings and a bunch of weird Zilbermints Gambits. If you don't know what that is, you're going to find out very soon. But I just wanted to make that announcement so that people are aware of what's going on. So if for some reason I don't make a video in the next 2 days, don't come looking for me. I'm on vacation. Don't worry about me. But I'm trying my best. I got just tonight to edit a whole bunch of videos to have probably like 4 videos, a Risk video every day and a chess video to go out. We'll see if we can get it done. But here's the kind of nonsense you can expect over the next couple days. Zilbermints Gambit going up against Marinovich Bozo. This, of course, is not a particularly good opening. In fact, if you ask the computer, it's already like +2 for white. But as I have found, most players have no idea what they're doing. So my basic plan in the opening is to try to get this pawn back. Wait, but there's something crazy here. Yeah, if they play f4 to hold this, there's a really ridiculous line. d6, it goes something like takes knight to f6. Yes, yes, this could be the fun one. Now they play e5, come on, please. No, no e5. Why would you not play e5? I don't understand why you wouldn't play e5. Let me get in here. With this in the way, there's no threat of queen to d5. After e5 in here, I'm not actually threatening knight to f2 because of some future move like this. But wait, I can take this and then queen check. What the heck is this? Is this real? But then they're going to be able to take my c-pawn. Let's take this. Let's start off here. Let's get a little wacky with it. I'm going to lose this c-pawn at the end of everything. So it's, I don't know, it's a little bit risky. But now check. Then I can pick back this knight. King is running away, so I'm on this pawn. You can take here, but I am on this pawn. Let's see how this plays out. It's wacky stuff, okay? Every single game has its own particular unusual twist. This is not an opening that anybody seems to be prepared against, but I will share some very secret lines at the end of this game that I think will amaze you. It's some of the craziest computer lines that I've ever seen, and I study crazy lines for a living. And even to me, some of this stuff is just, it's wacky beyond belief. But hopefully I can share some insightful, unusual analysis at the very end of this. Let's keep the queens on the board. I need to somehow get rid of this pawn. Maybe I can bring this bishop out. I have a knight that can come in. The king is just blocked in the way. There's still a lot of good stuff that could happen. Okay, they're trying to prevent this. If I go here, it does even prevent them from playing queen to f3, trying to trade. Can't castle, for obvious reasons. But if I can just go get this. Let's try to take this with my rook. If you come here, I figured I'd have some queen move. I guess I have here, which actually is probably very decent. Wait, actually, I probably just have this check. I could have maybe even checked there anyways. But now the king and my rook are in a certain alignment. Let's see. Could do something really funny, put the bishop somewhere. But I'm ready to do something. They pin me. I think that's actually pretty fair. So let's get out of this pin, because we do want to move our knight somewhere. So I'm wondering if the opponent is even going to take it. Yeah, so afraid of my knight that they actually end up taking. Okay, let's go here. Trying to bring the queen in. Let's see if we can get away with this. I mean, if the queen comes in here, you're really in a lot of trouble. White cannot afford it, but how do they prevent me from bringing my queen to d3, which is, it's gonna get pretty bad if you have to run up here and you start getting checked like this. I actually feel like they might be busted here. I don't see it right offhand. Let's see if they can come up with something that I'm not seeing. This is not looking good. Not looking good at all. Okay, so they go here, this, yeah. But I'm on this pawn. If I go here, if something takes, I go here. This is, yeah. Check in here is mate. Let's go. What a move. Let's go. So my threat is to take this. You can't go here because of my bishop. And then you get checkmated. Yo, I'm having so much fun playing the Zilbermints Gambit, dude. It's so fun. And this line with f4 that the opponent played, it can lead to such fun and interesting games. We're going to have to analyze this one. Because this is... it's so bad, but yet, for some reason... Look, don't look at my rating. Look, the rating has obviously been tanking because we've been goofing around a little bit. But sometimes... in order to discover some really beautiful gems in chess, it's gonna cost you some rating points, okay? And we've been tanking a little bit, but I think we finally gotten a grasp on this wild, crazy opening. And this was a really, really cool game. So this is the Zilbermints Gambit. You play h6, kind of stupid, useless move, but then you sack your e-pawn with pawn to e5. And if you look at this from a computer point of view, this is one of the worst gambits. It's up there with the Stafford Gambit in terms of dubiousness. It's +2 for white. But I play knight to c6, and now it turns out that a lot of people have no idea how to handle this. I would say knight f3 is the most common move that I'm seeing because, you know, you're going here. Sometimes maybe they play bishop f4. Sometimes they're playing with queen d5. They're doing everything they can to take it. And I've been getting okay positions, bringing this knight out, playing g5, putting a knight on g6 and a bishop on g7, trying to win this pawn back. I also have queen that can come here. And basically you go and you try to get that pawn back and get some position. And if white plays like a computer, you're pretty busted. Okay, that's the way that this opening goes. But there's an insane line that I just discovered today after pawn to f4. And it's not g5, it's not d6 computer move, it's bishop to c5. And one idea here is that most people play knight to f3, but now you can play pawn to d6. And after they capture this pawn, which is the most popular human move, you've actually got a better position here with black because these pawns are all overextending. Better, I guess, is to just go here, because we're not really threatening too hard to go for this and allow this queen trade, but I suppose this would be a possibility, and the computer says you take this pawn, and then life goes on. I guess you go about your business trying to win this pawn back. Okay, but they always take in human play. Now you bring your knight out to f6, and most humans, wait, this has only been played once, but maybe you can also play this in reverse with the white pieces. But we were studying this line with e5 on Twitch earlier today. Come follow me, it's Vampire Chicken. Also ignore any children you hear scampering. We're getting excited, we're about to go on a little bit of a vacation. What happens here is that you're not actually threatening to go here, because I had some game that I guess is not in the database yet. It must have been knight to c3 or something. No, because then I can go here and go like this. What happened was here, yes. A bishop goes to c4, and now as black, you're not threatening this because of queen to d5. This is a very important nuance. So white can threaten this and your bishop, and you're actually in a lot of trouble, because if you lose this, take this, this guy, this actually doesn't work out very well, because white is actually not even really down anything. Here, their structure is very good, and the fact that you win the rook doesn't really matter. Your knight is actually a little bit trapped and boxed in, so white should be able to win. But instead, after the bishop comes out to c4, you can take this pawn, and now queen e2, avoiding getting forked. And now if you decide to go for this, they can take this and expose the whole point of queen to e2. Queen e2 is a little bit hard to find, I think. I think a lot of people would just play some other random move here or whatever. But here you actually castle or you can take. And I think the cool line is if you take, white can play h3, trying to convince you to move your knight. But you actually ignore this, you leave your knight hanging, which is the computer idea, and black gets a better position. After they take your knight, you take back with g4 and you're ready to bring this in. And the moves get basically ridiculous from here, but the point is to bring your knight to d4. And then here the computer kind of wavers between just sacrificing the queen for a couple different pieces, like it's just that bad, or playing something like queen d3. And then if I remember right, that b5 is always some idea of here for black. And a lot of this is just not really like human play. This makes a lot of sense, but white now needs to enter into a pin, and then it's b5. I mean, it's stuff that I don't think a lot of humans would come up with or play on their own or whatever, but something like this, you can play queen a5, you win this all back, but there's c3, but you can toss this in between. They can take this back somehow, you're taking this thing. They need to keep this file closed. I mean, it's like wacky, ridiculous stuff. But it does seem like a lot of fun with black. So that's what I was hoping for. That's the end of the analysis segment for that portion. But that's what I was hoping for when my opponent played f4. How much of this crazy line can we possibly get? So I played bishop to c5, knight to f3, and now d6. But after takes, Knight to f6. Already I've equalized, or I'm even better somehow with black, even though I'm down a couple pawns. My opponent did not play e5, but actually played the second best move, or one of the best moves according to the computer, which is bishop to d3, just defending the pawn. And now I'm on my own. We're creating some brand new theory here. I decided to still go for this anyway. It turns out this is completely wrong. This is very dumb. White could have just taken this pawn here and done very well. Obviously, at some points, they can force this whenever, but then it's still like rook to f1, and the game would have continued in a much different path. But what really happened is they went here first, and then I took this, which is also a huge mistake. It's a tactical move, but it's not very good. But the reason it's not very good is not because the knight should take this, but you should still try to distract my queen. And in this position, I can't go here. I have to go to e7 or somewhere else because I need to be ready to meet this capture with this check in order to get the knight back. So that would have been a really good improvement for the opponent. But as it were, I played queen to h4, and now maybe I'm taking over the game. Queen comes in, I take the knight. Now they take the pawn. h5 was not on my radar. And I honestly don't understand, but maybe it's about getting the rook in? I'm trying to see what the next move... it's about bishop to g4. So the idea is to go bishop to g4. Instead, I took this pawn, queen to e2, and now I kept my queen on with some hope that I could go here. But here I did see queen f3 for the opponent, and I was going to try probably to not trade this queens. I don't know what would have happened. It probably wouldn't have worked out for me, but maybe if I have to trade the queens, it might be something that's a little bit tough for me. Trading queens does make sense. You still have bishop here, and you can actually start pushing your h-pawn. It makes a lot of sense, but sometimes I don't trade queens. Maybe the opponent would have gotten away with it. But here I'm allowed to play bishop to g4. I'm attacking the queen. You're not allowed to go for this queen trade. Queen goes back. Rook to c8 is correct. Taking is correct. And I'm somehow trying to introduce some threats. Let me hit X. If it were my turn, my biggest threat is actually bishop to f2. That's wild. So how does this work? Bishop to f2, followed by some knight to b4. We're going to probably win this back, because if you go here, there's queen takes. I mean, there was a lot of potential tactics here. So my opponent came up with this one, pinning my knight, which actually didn't seem like such an impractical decision at all. And then they took my knight, but they're still under so much pressure here. The knight came out, rook to d8, and here they didn't really know what to do. And I came up with this move, which is not on the computer's radar. I missed a forced mate in 6. I can allow them to go there, sacrifice my bishop. Then I can take here a quiet move, threatening some sort of checkmate. After king e2, trying to sacrifice this. Best is to actually take the queen. If I go here, the queen can actually take my rook. So they sack their queen, knight to c4, but at some point, rook to a6, and you're going to be walking right into some sort of checkmate. So I missed this idea, but I came up with this other very nice, beautiful move that forced my opponent to resign. The point is I'm attacking your queen, and my queen is still sliding in here, and this pawn is now hanging. So I'm actually threatening to go here and then deliver this checkmate, as you saw in the game. And if you want to see more of this, please subscribe to the channel, because over the next couple of days, I'm going to have a bunch of videos on openings like this. This is what we're going to be getting for the next couple of days, and I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later for the next video. Bye.